Yeah, we are now ready. We are live streaming. Welcome to the FoodTech Pitch Lounge. I'm your co-host, Jamal Maxey, and we are just waiting for a few people to cut. We've got everyone that we expected who is actively presenting today, and also all of our panelists are already in with us. So that's fantastic. We're just allowing people now to enter by the waiting room. We had I think a really bumper registration today, more than 50 on the website, over 100 on LinkedIn, and I think a further 2,000 plus were invited via Zoom who have attended our events over the last 2 years. So the FoodTech Pitch Lounge, the event series is an opportunity for capital raising food tech startups to secure exposure, advisors, and connection to investors. The FoodTech Pitch Lounge is an event series co-produced by and co-hosted by the long-running producers of this series, Sascha Dutta, Foodpreneurs Collective and FoodHack Dubai, Tammy Ho, myself from Forward Fooding and Pitch Lounge, Miraj Ahmed, and strategic partners Elena Suchi and Gennady Goldenstein from Dynamic Ventures. Elena Suchi is also with RSP Business Angel and the Investor Ready Lab. The event is being recorded and being live streamed. It will be available on demand on YouTube. But you're the lucky ones inside the event. You get to interact here in the Zoom chat, but also on the post-event networking. We've got FAQs on different event formats of ours. So we do run different types of events. This is our feedback guidance format. But we also run, this is our investor pitch lounge format. We also run a feedback guidance format series for those getting ready for their investor pitches. I'm just pasting the FAQs into the chat with our two different event formats for online pitch events. And we've got the event schedule we will go through that later, but I'm just going to paste that in the chat as well for those who stay with us. And before handing over to Sascha Dutta, I want to introduce her. She'll be co-hosting and moderating the rest of the event. She's my co-producer for the last 4+5 years with Foodpreneurs Collective and FoodHack Dubai. She has over 15 years of corporate marketing experience working in brand management and MPD for companies like PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, and AB World Foods. She is now specializing in marketing strategy and event management as a freelance consultant, offering consulting and business mentoring to F&B businesses and co-hosting events like this to support the startup community. She's the lead ambassador for FoodHack London, a community of nearly 1,300 food and drink entrepreneurs, before she relocated to Dubai in 2023. She now is the lead ambassador for FoodHack in Dubai, and she's also a global ambassador for various other initiatives and companies, such as mentor the UK government's help to grow management course for startups, and also a global ambassador for Forward Fooding. On a more local level, she's an ambassador for Foods Dubai Expo, and she regularly co-produces F&B networking events in Dubai with me, Homegrown Ventures, Electronics, the Institute of Catering, and various other local partners. If when things get a bit more normal again and we're able to host in-person events, we look forward to continuing with those. And I'm just pasting, she also runs a really active WhatsApp community linked to the UAE community in the Gulf. I'm pasting her LinkedIn into the chat now for those who want to connect with her. And if you want to join that WhatsApp group that she runs, you can do that and find that link on the Pitchland website, pitchland.net/community. It's now a great pleasure to hand over to Sascha to co-host and moderate the rest of the event. Sascha.
Thank you, Jamal. Good evening, everyone, from here in Dubai. Right, I'll start by introducing Jamal. So he moved to Berlin 8 years ago to teach and soon started organizing events and workshops in the startup scene and lives between Berlin and Hyderabad in India. He did a venture capitalist course at London Business School in 2020. It also increased his ability to coach startups on their investor pitches and make investor introductions. In 2024, he was chosen alongside a stellar group of people as a global food tech shaper in the top 100 by the Food Cons. He has coached and hosted over 600 startups over the past 5 years and consults to a handful of our alumni startups and lives between Germany, India, and the UK. You can contact him for investor pitch coaching, recommendations for strategic advisor board members, and other startup support. He's also open to fractional or part-time employment offers in events, marketing, and partnerships. So I think we're just sharing his details in the chat now. Now moving on to this evening's event, we have introductions, which I'm going to do in a minute. Then we have our startups pitching. They'll have 5 to 7 minutes each to pitch, followed by Q&A and feedback, so 15 to 20 minutes with our advisor investor panels. Observers are welcome to ask questions in the chat. If we've got time, we can ask them at the end. If not, I'll get the startup to reply back to you. You've also got the opportunity at the very end to join the breakout rooms if you want to talk directly to any of the startups who've pitched this evening. Let's just go on to some housekeeping rules before we get started. Please keep on mute unless it's your turn to speak. Obviously, we prefer to have your videos on so we can see your face and not a black screen, especially if you end up going into the breakout rooms afterwards. And we're here to support and encourage. So please be mindful of what you write in the chat and be constructive if you're providing feedback or asking questions. Right. We're going to share some links to all our community networks. I think we've shared some, like my WhatsApp group details, but I think we've got some other ones. So I think that will get shared into the chat now. Now on to, before I go into introducing the panel, I'm just going to introduce the companies pitching this evening, just top line. So we have Stefan Hilberg presenting Millau.co. We have Jean-Louis Roux presenting Neocarbons. We have Firat Alkan presenting Keebel's Garden. And then Nir Padan presenting Olive Express. And now I'd like to introduce the panel. I'll just top line it first, and then we'll go into a bit more detail about each of our panelists. We have Anthony Stam, who's partner at Beyond Impact VC. We have Dr. Elif Gunur-Rais, a member of the board of advisors of CAP Metrics. We have Elena Suciu, founder and CEO of RSVP Business Angel. And we have Gennady Goldenstein, founder and managing partner at Dynamic Ventures, and Ravi Kakara, founder of Investors Forum, New York City. So a little bit about each of them now. I've got Anthony Stam, as I said, is partner at Beyond Impact VC, board member at Yeast Up, pioneering impact investor in plant-based food tech, alternative proteins, including Mighty, Les Nouveaux Affineurs, and sustainable food systems. He's got over 20 years of private equity and M&A experience across Europe. He's a venture partner at Beyond Impact VC, a Switzerland-based venture capital firm investing in plant-based food, sustainable agriculture, alternative proteins, precision fermentation, and cruelty-free innovations from plant, fungi, algae proteins to upcycled food waste solutions. As an advisor of Nature RE Capital and board member at Yeast Up, he supports scaling innovative biotech that upcycles spent yeast into high-value plant proteins and fibers, contributing to more sustainable food systems and circular production. With over 20 years of experience in private equity and M&A across Europe and North America, he brings deep investment expertise to venture capital partnerships, helping founders and funds navigate growth, capital strategy, and impact-oriented scaling. So thank you to Anthony for joining us this evening. Next up, I have Dr. Elif Gunur-Rais. She's a member of the board of advisors for CAP Metrics, ambassador for FoodHack Istanbul, a mentor of Founder Institute, a member of VC Lab, advisor for Arkven Capital, food tech academic and entrepreneur. So she's a food technology and entrepreneurship expert specializing in sustainable food innovations and bridging academia with industry. As the ambassador for FoodHack Istanbul, she empowers food entrepreneurs and fosters collaboration to drive sustainability and innovation in the food and agricultural sectors. A thought leader and mentor, Dr. Rais combines academic research with practical solutions, supporting startups and advancing market-ready innovations in the global food ecosystem. So thank you, Elif. It's great to have you back again this evening. Next up, we have Elena Suciu, founder and CEO of RSVP Business Angel, judge and mentor for Mass Challenge Switzerland and Founder Institute London, a food and drink challenger brand advocate, angel investor, and she's ex-Diageo. She leads RSVP Business Angel, where she supports ag and food tech and climate tech startups with mentorship, investor access, financial strategy, and fundraising preparation. She serves as a judge and mentor at Mass Challenge Switzerland, Founder Institute London, ETH Entrepreneur Club, Brainforest, and EIT Food. And she helps food and AgTech innovators scale through investment readiness and strategic partnerships. She draws on over 15 years of experience at Diageo and in venture investing to champion food and beverage challenger brands and impact-driven food tech ventures worldwide. So thank you, Elena. Great to have you back again. And as Jamal mentioned earlier, she's one of our partners for this event and some of our other online pitch events as well. Next up, I have Gennady Goldenstein, who's founder and marketing managing partner at Dynamic Ventures, food service tech innovator, new product development specialist in software, hardware, food and beverage formulations, new concepts and operating models. He's got over 20 years in product development and has driven innovation at Yum Brands and Well Built. His expertise spans food, automotive, aerospace, and consulting at McKinsey, focusing on product development, strategy, and operations. As managing partner, he advances tech-driven innovation across food service and hospitality sectors. So it's great to have Gennady back again this evening. And then finally, we have Ravi Kakara, founder of Invest, Investors Forum for New York City, co-founder of Global Air Water Generation Initiative, chief strategist officer of Aeronero, investor, entrepreneur, and awarded sustainability champion. So he founded the Investors Forum in New York to advance the India movement towards a $35 trillion economy by 2047. As the co-founder of the Global Air Water Generation Initiative, he is committed to investing in and supporting sustainability and clean tech ventures. He's the Chief Strategy Officer for Aeronero Global Air Water Generation #1 company. And he actively promotes the use of AI for food and beverage, leveraging artificial intelligence to drive innovation in sustainable agriculture, food security, and climate-resilient farming systems. And he's also the co-author of the AI for Food movement book. So great to have Ravi back again this evening. So that's all our panelists. It's brilliant to have them all here. Next up, we're going to get on with the pitching. So first startup pitching this evening, we have Stefan Hillberg of Millo.co. Millo is a Swedish deep tech startup transforming meat alternatives using mycelium and Scandinavian oats. Founded by Mohammed Tahazadeh, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. The company uses a patented dry fermentation process to grow mycelium directly on plant-based substrates, creating clean label products with a natural meat-like texture without additives or ultra-processing. It's solution-driven 97% lower CO2 emissions and uses 95% less water than beef, while enabling circular production from diverse plant inputs. Based in Gothenburg, Millo focuses on B2B partnerships and has secured 3 million euros in EU grants plus 1 million in equity funding. They're looking to raise 2 million euros in equity at a 21 million pre-money valuation. And the round is scheduled to close Q2 this year. So I shall hand over to Stefan to present.
Thank you. 1 second. There we go. Can you see my presentation now?
Yes.
Thank you. So my name is Stefan Hillberg. I am the co-founder and executive chairman of Millo. Millo is not another food brand. We're building the infrastructure layer for cost-efficient protein. The system is broken. Consumers are unhappy with taste and nutrition. Production is inefficient and CapEx is high with extensive processing. We solve this with just 2 ingredients, oats and mycelium, totally clean label. This is the first solution that delivers taste, cost, and nutrition at the same time in a sustainable production. Our patented dry fermentation process produces food in 24 hours. From 1 kilo of oats, we get 2.4 kilos of Millo. It's based on unique hardware and AI-based software. The production scales it cost efficiently. This is a new production paradigm. We use 1/3 of the energy and CapEx. We can undercut existing protein production. Further, we reduce CO2 by over 90% and use almost no water. Sustainability is a consequence of better economics. We don't just provide protein, we solve micronutrient deficiency. This is a complete nutritional solution. Our first production facility is under construction, including a state-of-the-art laboratory for continued innovation and quality analysis. This is our step into scalable infrastructure. The process is simple, automated, and waste-free. We take oats, add spores, and in less than 24 hours, we have a finished product. No waste, fully scalable, fewer steps mean lower cost and better margins. We combine world-leading science with experienced operators. Professor Tahersadeh has over 25 years of experience with the highest number of publications in fungi and food, as well as fungi and feed. Together, we know how to build, scale, generate sales, and exit companies. This is a $20 billion market growing rapidly. We have a tangible local market to address with expansion internationally and via licensing, where we already have ongoing discussions. Further, we have done extensive work evaluating site streams, which will drive down COGS even further. We don't compete for share. We redefine cost and expand the market. We have a business-to-business strategy and start with food services where adoption is fastest, later expanding into retail and internationally. We become the ingredient layer like Intel Inside. Milo is approved for human consumption, and we are ready to hit the market. Revenue scales to 65 million euros in 2032 with strong margins. This is platform economics, not food margins. We have already removed most technical risk, initially bootstrapped and based on 25 years of research, funded by over 3 million euro in non-dilutive grants and strong local investors. Each fermentation unit generates strong cash flow. High internal rate of return and short payback enable rapid scaling and efficient financing. We use equity to prove the model, debt to scale, and licensing to expand globally. This is how we become infrastructure. We are raising 2 million euros to scale production and go commercial. This is a step from validation to scale. Milo can be a potential unicorn by 2032. We have multiple products ready for launch, developed together with our partners to make sure we have a product market fit. We can enter several categories quickly. Milo turns plants and mycelium into scalable protein infrastructure. Cost and quality wins markets, and we believe Milo will redefine the cost curve for protein. So come join us. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Staffan. Great presentation. Right, over to the panel. Let's have a look. Anthony, would you like to go first?
Yes, sure. Thank you very much for the presentation, Staffan. Very interesting. And over the past years, I've been following your company a little bit already, so I've got a little bit of background. But maybe one of the questions which I see many companies actually struggle with right now in the same space, how are you going to convince end customers of the taste, texture, and nutritional profile of your product? Like that's really key, I think, to ultimate commercial success.
Yeah, I mean, you're quite correct. Taste and price are the most critical components of any type of food. Customers aren't really willing to pay for sustainability. They like nutrition, of course. But given our production process, we have a really good margin, a gross margin, which allows us to have very attractive pricing, which means we don't have to have premium pricing. We can compete with anything out in the market with traditional products. That's one big advantage. And since we're starting with business to business, we're working mostly with the large companies like Sodexo, ISS, Core, who are serving this to their customers in big canteens across all over the Nordics right now. And that's where we start and bring it to those customers. Now, obviously, price is extremely important in taste, but they also care about sustainability, reducing climate impact, which they now have to account for every year.
And so are you first going after, say, the existing market for say more traditional protein as a replacement? So, well, as a meat or seafood replacement?
Yeah, we're going to
or
launch.
are you trying to directly position yourself as a meat replacement product?
We're going to launch with a minced product, which we already have demand for. The minced will be served in canteens as a minced in either tacos or bolognese. It will be served in hamburgers or Swedish meatballs, which the cafeterias will prepare. It will fit into their normal process. They will serve just Milo minced, but they will also mix it. We see quite a lot of mixing here in the Nordic right now, where we're creating hybrid products. Meat has become so expensive that using our products is actually going to bring the price down as well.
Okay, very clear. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Anthony. Elif, would you like to go next?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Stefan, for the good presentation. I would love to ask you about shelf life.
Sure.
How long?
So we're mostly in Sweden, we're selling it as frozen. It has about a year. If you serve it chilled, it's comparable to other chilled products in the market. And obviously, we've done a shelf life test. We're involved in an EU project called Plantomic, where we are doing this together with our Italian partners. So everything we do is scientific.
How long is it?
It's about a month, chilled.
Oh, okay. So I also wonder about your strategic hiring you mentioned in your pitch.
Yeah.
Who do you plan or target?
So we just brought in a CEO. We've been out without a CEO before. We filled those roles ourselves as being bootstrapped. So he came aboard a month ago. We're bringing in some sales managers. We're bringing in people from marketing, quality assurance and certification. We need somebody to focus entirely on that. And ultimately, we're going to bring in somebody to be in charge of the plant, whereas we're doing that ourselves right now. And then we can focus on expanding the plant as we go along. So we're doing it step by step, but carefully to make sure we don't increase our burn rate too much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Elif. Elena, would you like to go next?
You're on mute.
Yeah, you're still on mute.
All right. Hi, Stefan. Great presentation. I really enjoyed the pitch deck. How many times have you been pitching this?
Well, we started the company in 2020. I've been pitching it maybe larger pitches, maybe 10. So we've been at Mass Challenge. We've pitched to the European Union because we won the most competitive European Union grant, the EIC grant of 2.5 million euros. I've pitched as part of some of their events. And then obviously we've done numerous pitches to individual investors, where we have focused mostly on high net worth individuals, super angels, and family offices in the Nordic region so far.
Great. I wish you good luck with that, because
Thank you so much.
It shall continue. So I am considering a few questions. I would start with capital requirements for scaling, because you mentioned scaling at 1,300 tons and 3,000, between 1,300 to 3,500 tons. I got it correctly, I hope. It's a significant infrastructure. What is the capex per facility that you would bring in the total funding requirement?
So we're raising 2 million euros right now. With that, we're going to be up at 430 tons a year. Given our margins, we will be cash flow positive on that after about a year. Now that puts us in a very good position, because it allows us to finance future expansion with debt, obviously. Now, if you look at the total expansion to around 12,000 tons, we're going to be investing around, let's say, 8 million euros to fund that. But a lot of that will be financed by our own cash flow, of course, and with debt. If you compare our production process to wet fermentation or submerged, as they call it, which corn and mostly everybody else is using, we only need 1/3 of the capex, so we're very capex efficient.
Right, I see. And about the customer validation before scale, do you have commercial agreements? Because you mentioned you go to food service, you have already validated, you run some pilots with food service. What happened actually?
So if you look at the products we're launching, the first one, which is the minced, that has been developed with one of the largest food producers in the Nordic, and also with the largest food service company in the Nordic. So we're working with them to get those products through the market. We will get the factory up and running this summer and start bringing the products out into the market in the fall together with these customers. So it's not something we haven't sat at home and invented the products. We have developed them with customers that can vouch for the taste, for the quality, shelf life, and also price point.
Price point. And what would be the medium price point, recommended price point? What do you think to start with?
When we sell this to food service, a minced will be around 6 euros a kilo. Kebab, which is a more complex product, we can sell for about 10 euros a kilo. So that's kind of where the price is. And then obviously they will sell to the big companies like Sodexo and ISS and add on their margins.
All right, thank you.
Great, thank you, Elena. Gennady, over to you next.
Thanks, Sascha. Stefan, great to meet you. Great to meet you. Very, very good pitch, as my fellow panelists pointed out.
Thank you.
Most of my questions have already been asked and answered. It's always kind of interesting to go late. But here's a few that remained. If you compare cost of Milo product versus equivalent traditional protein, let's assume beef, versus cost of something like Beyond Meat, how do they compare? And cost to manufacture, and then we can figure out margins, but essentially cost.
Sure. About when we're up and running in scale, our production cost per kilo will be around 1.2 euros a kilo. Our raw material, our oats, we buy that per kilo for around 30 to 60 euro cents per kilo.
Okay.
So we have a very competitive production cost.
Okay. Competitive versus Beyond, or compared to beef?
Compared to most products out there. It doesn't matter if you compare it to corn or other types of products using liquid fermentation.
Okay, got it. But if you compare it to, say, Beyond, right, the Beyond products, one of their failures was they were somewhat more pricey compared to traditional alternate proteins.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know the exact price point or production point of Beyond, but
Okay.
I know if we compare it to anything else out there, we're very competitive, which means we can beat any price point, and in particular in meat today.
Okay. So as was pointed out, one of the biggest challenges here, really, I fully believe you can produce the product. It's going to be delicious enough. One of the biggest challenges is how do you convince your channel partners and ultimately end customers that this is the right product for them to substitute versus whatever it is that they're doing. And there has not been a lot of successes here. You know this market extremely well. It's very, very clear. Your background is impressive. You know your stuff clearly. why do you think Milo is going to be different to everything that went prior, and is trying to do the same thing right now? Why do you think you'll actually be able to crack this alternative to the traditional proteins?
Most products have some sort of compromise. They either have some sort of off taste, they're using too many ingredients, they don't hit the right price point, they don't have the sustainability, and if they do have the sustainability, they're too expensive. Nobody's paying a green premium anymore. We hit all of those price points, and we have a technology that allows us to scale very capital efficient. So, that gives us all the points. However, you don't just hand a product over to a channel and expect them to run and sell with it. We have to work ourselves with the Sodexos, the ISS, the Cores of the world, the big facility management companies who are running the canteens at the big companies like Volvo, etc. Their chefs are the ones that become convinced of the taste and of the price, of course, which is, that's really where we're focusing a lot of our efforts. And they have also been involved in the development of the products to make sure we hit that product market fit. Now, that's for the B2B food service market. And then obviously, as we expand into retail, a lot of those companies that we have as channels in the food service market are also going for the retail. So we expect to see our products probably earlier than we want into the retail market, because there's a huge demand for this type of product that hits all those points.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Good questions.
Thank you, Gennady. And then finally over to Ravi.
I think it's fantastic to hear about Milo. I mean, being a vegetarian, it really helps somebody like me to look at what could be the future options. I think the biggest challenge in meatless industry really is changing that habit. And I think we know very clearly, both for the meat eaters, but also the Gen Y, Gen Z, that is very clearly ditching meat products and really bringing it forward. So one of the books, you can see it on the chat, the AI for Food book. One of our algorithms is actually used, without revealing the name of the company, for creating meatless products. So I understand this market very much. So really want to understand your R&D, and what is your, I would say, the journey of innovation, because this will need a lot of packaging, repackaging, and bringing that back to the market. And linked to that is the question of GTM, especially from a behavioral change eating perspective, if you could really speak to that. And last question I really have is the burn. What is the burn right now? And if you're looking at this investment of 2 million euro, where is that really going? So if you could take those 3 questions. Thank you.
Okay. So we're not going to, convince the whole world to go vegetarian. That's pretty sure. I think we can agree on that. If you look at markets like Sweden, the Nordics, and Europe, Germany in particular, these are markets where you have a high penetration of vegetarian and vegan food. So those are the markets that we start with. We also see quite a bit of flexitarians in Europe, especially. So we're obviously addressing that market as well. I'm one of those myself. And we see a lot of the health aspects coming into play, where people now are not just talking about protein, but we're talking about fiber, we're talking about the complete nutritional profile of the products. So, obviously we hit that with our product. And as part of the R&D, that's what we've been working on for such a long time, obviously. Given Professor Terhas's background in fermentation that he's been doing for his whole life, and, has been using liquid fermentation for his whole life as well. And saw the problems of scaling that, with everything from capex to contamination to cleaning, getting rid of that wastewater, which you then have to clean before returning it to the municipality, all of those things that add up. And then all the different processing steps that adds cost and also adds ingredients. So, we're trying to bypass all of those steps, and we prove that we can do that. Now, as far as the investment, the 2 million euros, a big chunk of that goes into capex, of course, as we scale the first factory. And another big chunk goes into investing into the people we need, notably in sales and marketing. And as I mentioned, you just don't hand over your products to a channel and expect them to run with it. It doesn't work that. They might be, you could see them as a big truck delivering your products. You have to be out there talking to the market. And in the B2B food service channels, those are the big cafeterias run by the big companies. We see them all over the Nordics and all over Europe as well. Did I answer all your questions?
I think just one more question on food safety, because one of the biggest challenge on meatless industry is to ensure food safety. So are there any lessons learned, or how do you make sure that food safety is of?
That's a great question. And obviously, what we've done is we have built in decontamination into our process, because that's one of the big problems with fermentation, especially liquid fermentation. Anytime you have water, you have contamination. That's just the way it is. Given our minimum use of water, we avoid a lot of that problem. Given our modularity, we avoid cross-contamination. And the units, the reactors themselves that we have designed, have decontamination built in. So that handles a lot of the problems. But then obviously we are doing all the food certifications as we go along. And they are different per country, of course. So that's part of it. We had an interesting question about shelf life. If you look at growth in a product like corn, for instance, and you compare it with ours, stuff starts to grow on corn in a week or two in a refrigerator. We don't have that problem. It's very, very clean, and we have one of the best labs. We're in Sweden right now. We're even teaching Eurofins how to do measurements, so we run those very professionally.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Ravi. Right, it looks like we've got a question from the audience. So thank you to all our panelists for answering there. You may have partly all answered this already, actually, but I'll ask it anyway. So a great pitch, someone said, do you have success talking to big food service or catering companies like Sodexo?
Yes.
In the odds, yeah, I thought you'd already answered this. Maybe they weren't on the call when you were
talking. And as I mentioned, that's really where you have to be to move the market, because they make the decisions. The chefs at Sodexo and ISS and Core, they make the decisions.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, he did join late. Anyone else got a question from the audience, or any panelists got one further question? We've got like another minute or so. If anyone's got a question.
I have a question which you can touch on is the GTM.
Oh,
right?
go on then.
How do you change the habit?
Yeah, and obviously, rather than go and start and change the consumer habit, we're going for the markets where you already have some sort of habit, where you can provide a better product even at a better price. So that's one way of doing it, and also starting with the food service market, where you're not convincing the end consumer. You are convincing the chef at the cafeteria, because he needs to serve a better product at a better price point, which also reduces his climate impact. Now, that's extremely important in Europe specifically. Now, it doesn't happen as much in the US, where people are scaling down on some of those, but in the European Union, they have to publish their climate impact numbers.
Yeah. Excellent.
Great. Thank you to our panelists, and thank you, Stefan. So if anyone wants to talk with Stefan afterwards, he will be in one of the breakout rooms at the end. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, right. We're going to move on to our next startup pitching. So I'll just introduce them. So next we've got Jean-Louis Roux of Neon Carbons. They offer groundbreaking production capabilities for microalgae and microorganisms with the highest quality. So over to you, Jean-Louis. Oh, actually, sorry, I'll just give you a bit of an intro to him as well. So it's a Swiss-based biotech company focused on transforming carbon dioxide into valuable resources using microalgae. With over 25 years of experience, he has built and scaled technology-driven businesses across materials, energy, and healthcare sectors. So he began his career as a process and production engineer at companies like Exxon Chemicals, and later held leadership roles spanning M&A, R&D, and business development across startups and global firms. So over to you, Jean-Louis.
Yeah, thank you very much. Before I start, there is a technical issue. I am registered as a co-host, so I get a lot of people willing to sign in, and it appears on my screen. And maybe you can change my status. I'm not a co-host.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you do that, Pavan, but then once we do that, it might stop the share. So you'll have to request share, and then we'll give you that permission. It just enables making you co-host. Just enables us to not have to give you permission each time someone asks to share. But Pavan, do you want to turn that off and then give him permission to share once he shares again? If he's finding it
he's
distracting.
already available. You can.
Okay.
I have removed his permission.
Let's continue. Thank you for that. Please continue.
Okay. So you can all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So let me start. Good evening or good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you're staying. So I'm Jean-Louis. I'm the founder and the CEO of Neocarbons. And what we do at Neocarbons is equipment to improve the production of microalgae-based compounds, ingredients, APIs, etc. And the main advantage that we provide over other technologies is that we reduce the downstream processing costs by 65%, excuse me. And we're currently on the way to raise money to grow the company. So essentially, the drivers for equipment like ours is are political sovereignty. People want to get back the production of APIs and key ingredients to Europe, in our case, because of what they've seen happening during the COVID crisis and now with the oil crisis. There are a lot of sustainability regulations moving towards green chemicals, like recently the FDA and the EMEA banned the synthetic pigments for the food and the nutraceuticals and pharma cosmetic applications. And this is creating some kind of a buoyant demand for equipment to produce natural equivalent or substitutes. There are the patent expiries for biosimilars, and we've been contacted by companies having produced the generic versions using modified microalgae, and they are looking for GMP equipment to do that, and they can't find too many in Europe. And that's the last point. There's a bottleneck in the GMP production capacity. So all this is draining the markets towards looking for equipment. With our equipment, what we can do, I told you 65% reduction on the cost, and whether it's for active pharmaceuticals or for cosmetic peptides, if you compare the microalgae solution to the two other major production technologies, which are synthesis with a lot of process steps, fermenters with all the problems you have downstream with the fermented product, we can save 7 to 1,400 per gram on the APIs, and something like 1,000 per kilogram on the cosmetic product. So that's quite a saving that we propose to our clients. And this translates into what you see on the right-hand side. Our business model is we sell equipment and we share the gain on productivity that we propose. And for highly priced equipment, 1 cubic meter, the payback period is very short, and the IRR of the buyer is very high. And it warrants us also a good IRR and a good seller NPV of about 0.7 million per unit sold. For the go-to-market, we're currently looking for use case partners who are willing to test our equipment for the production of their products. We have very good results for phycocyanin with Galgeria, which we would like to pass on. And we target the fine chemicals industries to start with. it's a kind of Tesla go-to-market strategy. First, the low-hanging fruit, small volume, high value. So it's foods, it's pharma, it's cosmetic, nutraceuticals, and then we will move on with the larger scaled-up reactor to tackle the biochemicals and the chemicals industries. So we're looking for use case partners. Currently, financially, we have an open CLA of 250K, and we would like to use the proceeds of this CLA to produce the equipment that has been required or requested from us by research centers in Europe. Research centers are very good for seeding applications. We need the money to produce the equipment. And then by the end of the year, once we will have done 2 additional tests with APIs and with pigments for another pigment than phycocyanin, the one is called astaxanthin, we will go for a seed. We have a pre-money, a post-money valuation of between 15 and 20, and we need 5 million to grow the company. And to growing the company means, in addition to being able to produce the equipment, it means scaling up the current reactor to a 1 cubic meter building block capacity and building our own R&D laboratories here in Switzerland. Currently, we're working with a partner who is hosting our MVP, and this is not a fully fledged solution for us. We need to control what's going on in our development, and we need to control the tests for our prospects. Where we are, so you can see the how we are going to evolve. Currently, we are in the 100 range liter capacity, which is good for small production lots and for process development. And we want next year, when we have the money, to build a 1 cubic meter building block and then move to 11 cubic meter reactors, which will allow to tackle the chemical industries. And for this, we have an ecosystem. We have a partnership which has just been signed with a major engineering and equipment producer. It's called the Dietrich, and they focus on all the fine chemicals and chemical industries on which we are focusing on. And their clients ask for green chemistry, green ingredients solutions. We have a small team, but very efficient. So you can see I'm the oldest guy in the group. We have 2 young people who are going to take over responsibilities once I step up in 2 or 3 years. So there's some music going on. I don't know. Does it mean I'm finished?
Yeah, if you can just wrap up on this slide now. Yes, please.
Okay, and we have very good, we have a loyal VC, which is a VC fund from INSEAD for INSEAD. They invested already in the CLA, a small amount, but they are following us. And we have excellent advisors. We plan to have Stefan coming as a CEO or CEO during the course of the year. That's it.
Great.
Now it's your turn.
Yes. Thank you, Johnny. Great presentation. Right, over to the panel. Right, this time, should we start with Elif?
Thank you, Sascha. Thank you, Jean-Louis, for the presentation. Maybe out of question, I can support you through your need about use case partners, if you wish. If you think about food colorants, you can have partners. Maybe I can support you and fasten your process to validate your process.
That's great. I really appreciate. Should I, do you want to contact me on LinkedIn, or do you want to leave your
We are
email
already
address?
connected. We are already connected because once I understand the process, and then I can support you more. So everything is clear. Just I need to understand what we can do about food additive market, so I can support you through use case partnership.
Hey, this is great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So let's talk and let's have a separate web call during
I will write
next
you
week.
tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Elif. Elena, over to you next.
Yes, thank you, Jean-Louis. I have a concern. Does the performance at 60 liters translate to 1 meter cube and beyond?
Yes, because our technology is has been designed to be scalable in volume. Most competitors and most other technologies, they focus on surface transfer of photonic energy, and we focused on volume distribution. We can go up to 10 watt per liter, which is quite a lot, and this is thanks to my chemical engineering background and my experience in production ethics on chemicals. That I'm starting from the need. Okay, I'm not starting from what I have. I'm starting from the need, and that's how we came to design and patent our lighting equipment.
Got it. Yes. And then on revenue, if I understood correctly, there will be no revenue until pilot in 2028.
No, because we are going to put the MVP, the 60 liter to 100 or 200 liter range. We're going to sell it as soon as we can. So we're putting it on the website for sale.
So you expect by when do you expect revenue? Let's say you have some signals, some market signals.
I would say by Q2 or Q3, end of Q2, beginning of Q3 this year.
Yeah, I might have other questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. If you've got time, back to you. Gennady, over to you next.
Thank you. Jean-Louis, great to meet you. Thank you for a very thought-provoking presentation. Let's revisit the basically I'm looking for where is the moat? Where is your something proprietary that would protect you from anybody trying to copy your equipment, your machines?
So we have three forms of protection. The first one is our equipment is patented, and I don't know if you saw on the presentation we have the list of the patents. If you want them, I can give you the references. So we're patented in North America and in Europe. The second thing is we have trade secrets, and the trade secrets cover the essential drivers of productivity and competitivity, which is how to produce cheap photons, which other technologies cannot do right now. And we know how to do this. And the second one is the design of the equipment, which allows for all the photons emitted to be absorbed. And this is a key driver of cost, because electricity is 80% of the OPEX in the photosynthesis.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. I wouldn't mind taking a look at the patents. Where did you file, and where you granted? Which countries you mentioned? North America, so I assume US. Where else?
US, Canada, and Europe. Almost all of Europe.
Okay.
Including Israel, I think.
Okay. And did you protect the essentially the method or the machine?
Both.
Both. Okay. So if I'm a Chinese bad player and I copy your machine and then I sell it to somebody in North America to prosecute it.
You know what's the quality of the Chinese products? Yeah. They wouldn't stand the operating conditions that our equipment stands, like for the production of phycocyanin, the natural blue pigment. We operate at pH 2 and 42 degrees in a continuous mode. and I wonder how long their machines would or their copies would stand these operating conditions.
Yeah, no, it's we can argue it, but I think we'll mostly agree than disagree. The trade secret part of it, I think, is going to be a little bit more interesting than the patents, I think. But like I said, I would love to take a look at your patents. Let's revisit traction a little bit. So what physically do you already have built? How are you getting the feedback? What led you to those 10 LOIs and 5 specific requests for machine placements?
Okay, so we have contacted the major research centers in Europe, which are working with microalgae, and so they use the traditional, so it's the tubes, the flat panels, technologies to produce their microalgae, and they are interested in testing our equipment for their customers as well, but they are not willing to pay the test for the equipment, so we have to provide the equipment to these research centers. Okay. And there are 5 of them. One of them in North Germany has already put us in contact with one of their clients who is looking desperately for phycocyanin.
Okay. Do you have any LOIs or any other perhaps soft commitments from paying businesses, paying companies?
Yes, we have more than 10 LOIs in the markets that we are tackling. I must say that the people, it's LOIs, but with no offtake associated to them for the time being. Okay, we're working on trying to move these guys to, one, make tests on the equipment, and second, with an offtake. Okay. We're currently discussing with a company which is manufacturing monoclonal antibodies. They haven't found a GMP production technology except us in Europe, and we're working with them to make a test in June with an offtake.
Okay. That helps. So if I look at your market, and then I see the potential of technology, if this works as you think it's going to work, this has many applications in many industries. Why do you think you can only address 250 million of it 10 years from now? What in your head is limiting this from being much bigger?
First, we're not providing the end product. We're providing the equipment to make the product. So it's a smaller market. It's a market of about 4 billion worldwide. Whereas the demand for green chemicals from microalgae is about 30 billion in 2030. But for the equipment, it's 4 billion. And then the second thing is we are very prudent in our market projections, and we say we will take 20% of the growth of the market. Okay, to start with. And then we don't know where it's going to be, but our projections that I have shown are based on very conservative estimates for market penetration. It could go much faster. I don't know, frankly. I hope. But when I want to present the company, I use always conservative data.
Okay. Makes sense. What's your projection on the margin per kit, per piece of equipment? What do you think you're going to be at once you are full scale, several years from now?
At least 40%.
40%. And would you consider to improve margins, having some operations in low cost regions, being, I don't know, Eastern Europe, South America, things of that nature, or are you thinking Switzerland, like that's the place?
Let's say if they can provide the same quality as the suppliers we have now, why not? Okay, but this I kind of doubt. So we have, it's very important to have a high quality equipment. Why? Because on the cost issue, you have to have continuous operations 11 months a year. Okay, so your equipment has to withstand very sharp operating conditions for that long period of time, and you cannot make an arbitrage on cost versus quality. So if we have the quality, yes. If we don't have the quality, it's a definite no, because our clients, our quality impacts their performance, and I don't want to play with that.
Makes sense. Jean-Louis, thank you. Thank you.
Great.
You're welcome. So send me an email and I will send you the references of the patents.
Yeah, I'll message you on LinkedIn with my email address.
Ouais. Merci.
Thank you, Gennady. Ravi, over to you next.
Jean-Louis, I spent about 25 years on sustainability, and carbon capture is one of the most difficult things to do. So I really want to first of all congratulate you for coming with something which is absolutely brilliant. I mean, people really need to understand what you have created and what it means to the sustainability discussion, what it means to biofuels, biochemicals, and how it can change the multiple industries. And I think probably you know this better than me because you probably have a lot of experience. So I'll be very happy to have one-to-one discussion with you because this has multiple use cases application. And I think somewhere I feel there is a tone of being extremely humble, the way you're presenting. I think for us, the urgency of bringing a product like this to market is like yesterday. And I think there will be multiple people who I know in my network, including myself, will be very happy to get into a deeper conversation because there are very few people who can understand what you've done here and what you are trying to achieve. And I think if this is what is being done, I can predict, and I hope the space is recorded, that you and your team will win multiple awards in the future. And I'm not joking, because I can see very clearly the multiple use cases. We just pick up pharma, for example, as you said. You know, that industry can be totally revolutionized. You know, I run a campaign for the last 2 months on microplastic in water and what it's done to the human body. And we're not even getting into the petrochemicals into women's lipstick. And all the women here, lovely women, are wearing lipstick and all. I don't know how many of them realize the amount of petrochemicals and microplastics in their products and what it'll do to them in the future. So I think this is absolutely brilliant. I will do a deep dive with you because I know we have other presenters. But you know, with your IP and all that, I think I don't think you will be doing this for 2028. As Elena said, I think this may happen sooner. So we'll definitely connect with you and you know, get into a deep dive and whatever we can do to you know, support and also to scale this up. You know, absolutely committed. And I'm not worried about China at all. I mean, you know, India, we come from India and US. We don't think about China any longer. It's a different story. I think the TAM is too big, the SOM is too specific, and I think the use case could be absolutely brilliant. So congratulations to you and the team behind this. It's absolutely spectacular from my perspective. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So you will write me an email
yes.
And then we organize. Okay.
Yes. So Sascha and Jamal will connect us and we'll be in connection. Congratulations again.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's warming.
It's great hearing that from Ravi. Right. And then finally on to Anthony.
Yes. So to keep it short, because we need to move on. One question I was not entirely sure about your business model yet. Are you going into the production of the equipment? Are you selling or licensing the production process, or are you completely going into production of selling the end product?
So for the last point, we don't have the money to build a CDMO. if we had, it would have been done, and we would reap up all the profits and all the margin in the chain. For the first question, our business model is we sell the equipment on value. So, for example, you can save $1,000 per kilogram in the production of a given product. And we say we would like to get 30% of that savings for us. And you also buy the equipment. So it's an equipment sale, and it's a kind of licensing, maintenance, whatever you want to call it. That is based on the benefit that the client makes by using our technology. Is that an answer to your question?
Yes, like a follow-up question, but again, like we're running out of time probably. But how are you going to get your customers over the hurdle of buying new equipment with new raw materials on the promise that it's going to get them a lower cost, same quality product, where they have to give you a percentage of that benefit?
This is why we need our own R&D center, because it's B2B. So B2B, it's even when you buy a car, you test drive your car before, right? So these industries are going to say, yeah, this is very nice, but please prove it to us on our strain of algae and running into your equipment. And once we have the metrics for the test, and we say, okay, if it meets this, and this criterion, then first we have an off-tech, and second, we have a discussion on how we share the benefits compared to what you have today. But it has to go through test, B2B test.
Yes. Oh, clear. Thank you.
You're
Great.
welcome.
Thank you so much. So we've run out of time on this one now, but thank you, Jean-Louis. You have got one question in the chat, so maybe you can just reply to Priyanshu while we move on to the next startup, or maybe at the end, if you're both staying on, you can have a chat during the breakout rooms, and you can answer her question then. I think Jamal's just going to jump in and say something quickly before we move on to the next startup.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much. It's just a very quick one for our fourth presenter. You can just check your email. That'd be great. So the startup from Olive Express, please check your email from me, please. Now we're on to the third startup, and just 5-minute pitch this time, because we're running slightly over time. So moving on to the third startup. Thank you. Thank you, Pavan, and bringing up the founder on screen. Thank you, Sascha. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll just do a quick intro. So we've got Kibeli's Garden being presented by Aygun Savasalkan, and I think the co-founder Firat Alkan. So they abundance the agri-food and cosmetics of the future with algae biotechnology. So Firat Alkan is co-founder and chief operating officer of Kibeli's Garden, an algae-based startup for agri-food and cosmetics. With a banking background, he drives operations and scales algaeponic systems to boost sustainability, efficiency, and next-gen biotech solutions. Aygun is the co-founder and CEO, and she leads innovations in algae-based systems and circular production with a strong focus on climate-friendly and impact-driven entrepreneurship. So over to you. I think it's Aygun presenting.
We can't hear you at the moment. You need to unmute yourself, I think.
Yeah, you're on mute at the moment, even though it doesn't look like you're on mute.
It doesn't look like you're on mute. So now we can hear you. You're a bit quiet, but we can hear you. You can speak loudly into the microphone.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
It's okay. Okay. So let's start.
You're very quiet, though. It's better often without a headset, to be honest. But you need to actually hold the microphone towards your mouth, because we can hear you at about 1/3 of the volume of Sascha right now.
I think you can hear me when I start present.
Okay. Okay.
Better.
Okay. but you can, of course, warn me if it's too quiet. So, hi everyone. Again, I'm Aygen from Kubeles Garden. I'm the co-founder and CEO. In today's world, we face with huge global problems such as soil degradation, food and water crisis, as all we know. And from the industrial perspective, there are some feasibility, regulatory, and user experience problems and needs in the algae industry. As Kubeles Garden, we build sustainable, non-toxic, and circular solutions for agri-food and cosmetics industries with algae biotechnology and fermentation. So, where the magic comes from? With our unique approach, with our co-culture algae biomass fermentation technology, we produce multifunctional fermented algae extracts. And thanks to our technology, we can provide more sustainable, scalable, and cost-effective algae extraction methods. And with our technology, we can release the natural bioactives hidden in the algae, the valuable natural bioactives, and we can increase the bioavailability of these ingredients. And especially important for the food industry, we can improve the sensory attributes of algae, which is one of the major market growth limiting factor in the industry, actually. We have a B2B business model, and with our approach, with our technology, we can create 20 times added value multiplier. And the outputs can be utilized as biofertilizer, biostimulant, functional food, alternative protein, and cosmeceutical raw material and ingredients. And in agriculture, we already commercialized and have more than 40 paying customers. And in our sales funnel, we have 100 plus more. If we exemplify the POCs and the successful stories from agriculture, you can see we obtained 20% protein increase in sunflower study, and also 30% increase in root development in maize. And as the last, and to emphasize, actually, in a greenhouse study, actually struggling with a tomato disease for the last years, we obtained really huge success rates and with the application of one of our fermented algae extracts. And in food vertical, we didn't commercialize yet, but we will commercialize this year. We completed so many successful POCs with our strategic partners. And happily, we obtained, in one of these cases, we obtained 50% antioxidant capacity increase with little amount of fermented algae extract addition. And also in different kind of applications, we also confirmed the applicability for the wide range of applications for our ingredients, from dairy to bakery products with so many companies. And for the internationalization, we follow a golden triangle strategy for the green gold of the future. And we are headquartered in Turkey and have a subsidiary in UK. And we position Turkey as our technology center, let's say, and the internationalization and finance ecosystem partner as UK, and the supply EU center as Portugal. We can already see double-digit billion-dollar market sizes in the algae industry. But we love to emphasize, actually, we are not a company just trying to grab a portion from this already growing market. We have a potential to augment this already growing market with our pain point addressing approach, actually, by being a solution partner of this algae industry. And we firstly aim to obtain the 1% of Europe and MENA markets. And we don't have an exactly the same competitor, but to compare with the closest competitors in this industry, we differ from them with our capability to ferment both microalgae and macroalgae, to by producing more multifunctional fermented algae-based products in a single zero waste process, and also targeting more than one vertical. And with our approach, with our scope, we are in line with 8 different SDGs. And as an happy news for us, for our side, last year we were nominated for the Earthshot Prize by Royal Academy of Engineering with our impact scope. And me and Fırat are here with you as co-founders. We have a multidisciplinary and dynamically growing team, also including some ex-entrepreneurs. And of course, we have a huge, more than you can see actually in the slide, we have a huge advisory and mentoring team, thanks to especially the ecosystem partners and programs, in international programs especially. And to emphasize, to sum up the investment point, we raised 670K till now in our pre-seed and first seed rounds. And for now, we are raising our $1 million seed round. And we have a projection in line with this investment thesis. And to sum up our whole journey, our story, we were founded in 2021. And we completed our pre-seed round with the investors from USA, Singapore, and Turkey, with VCs and angels also. Then we started our certification processes, completed 3 patent applications, and as the important step of internationalization, we incorporated our subsidiary in UK, and we completed our we raised 420K in our seed round, and now we are ready to accelerate and grow for our commercialization journey, and also by market expansion with the internationalization strategy. You can also see our references and supporters. Thanks for listening. We can answer your questions.
Great, thank you. Great presentation. Right, over to the panelists. Let's have a look. Elena, would you like to go first this time?
Yes, thank you for your presentation. Great progress. I'm not sure if I got this correctly. You are pre-revenue right now?
No, we commercialized in agriculture. Actually, I said we have more than 40 paying customers, but in food vertical, we didn't commercialize.
Yeah. Okay, so you have how many revenue streams you are planning to have, or you, answer this question, please.
Of course. We closed last year more than $100K. This and progress, of course.
So I'm talking about revenue.
Of course, I'm saying the revenue.
Oh, I couldn't hear. Sorry.
We closed last year with 100K USD revenue.
All right.
As the first year of commercialization, actually.
All right. So it was on which product?
With agricultural raw materials as biofertilizer and biostimulant ingredients.
I see.
We have B2B business model.
Exactly. And you are planning, so you are in the UK, you are manufacturing in the UK, or you are manufacturing in Turkey?
We are manufacturing in Turkey. We have a subsidiary in UK now, so our manufacturing, our facility for now based in Turkey.
I see. So what is the role of the subsidiary in the UK? Are you focusing on a different revenue stream, or how does it help?
Actually, we made this plan according to our strategy. And now I can share actually. We will flip up. So we will also incorporate as headquarter based in UK. That's why we incorporated a subsidiary as the first step. So we want to be local in UK for especially the ecosystem, the biotechnology ecosystem, and also investment opportunities.
All right, so you have agri-food, you have cosmetics, and you have food on in your scope, and you have use case validation, protein increase in sunflower, if I remember correctly, and also for root growth increase and antioxidant increase. And I would like to understand a little bit how this business makes sense. When do you think you'll be profitable, and what revenue streams will be making sense in terms of unit economics, like economy of scale, where you'll be more profitable? Because there is a bigger scope, and then you have subsidiaries, and you are talking about the golden triangle. And I want to understand a little bit your positioning and your strategy behind that.
Of course, let's start with the profit case. Actually, for now in agriculture, we have a position. We are already profitable case. So we have a gross profit margin at least 60% now in our agriculture case, and we have a 500 tons per year annual capacity already with our strategic partnership. So in agriculture, we scaled up, and it's already profitable, let's say. And
it's biofertilizers, right?
Yeah, biofertilizer and biostimulant case. And in food and cosmetic, for food and cosmetic case, actually, we have an already investment period. Now we are in an investment period now for infrastructure, let's say. And with this new round, with this $1 million, at least $1 million seed round, we will also scale up this also. This will go to the food and cosmetics industries. And to make it clear, I also want to add the industry differences. In food and cosmetics case, as you can guess, the profit margins is really huge according to agriculture.
It's bigger, and probably also the risks is less, significantly less. And
by volume, you mean?
The operational risk, it's significantly less than in biofertilizers. So are you going to focus more on one industry than the other? That's also
sorry, Elena, you've asked quite a lot of questions. Can we move on to the other panels? Maybe you can.
I just wanted to get to one straight point, but yeah, thank you. It's okay. We can talk later.
Can you talk after? Sorry, I'm just
Thank you so much.
Gennady, over to you.
Hi, Agen, how are you?
Hi, fine. And you? Thank you.
Good. Are you planning on focusing on other industries? The same question that Elena was trying to ask.
No, for now, but we can actually in the future. So let's say it's good to take maybe the same question to make it clear for Elena also. Yep. And let's say let's start from this point. As a startup, of course, having a small team, we need to go forward step by step. That's why we started with agriculture. And in agriculture, we, as I try to say, we started with strategic partnership model. So we didn't burn for the capex side, let's say. We planned to make it for the higher profit margin industries, for food and cosmetic sides in our own facility. And as the milestone, we planned our milestones from the beginning, actually, according to this. And with our approach, we have a maybe it's easier to imagine. We have a fermentation platform, and we can design, we can fine-tune by changing the algae type, the bacteria and yeast selections, and of course the combinations. We can tune the profile, the metabolites, the functions, even for the same algae type sometimes, for the target industry. So our expertise is in that side directly, the technology side. So targeting these industries for different applications, of course, having B2B focus, this not change. It's not so problematic, actually. So we are already doing this.
Makes sense. So the short answer is yes, other industries, and you'll tailor the algae. Talk to me a little bit about your customer acquisition approach, both currently what you've done within agriculture, and what do you think you're going to do as you grow in agriculture and as you start to enter other sectors?
In agriculture, most of the time, in fertilizer producers and also big farmers, they want to start with POCs. They want to try and to see the results at the very first step, actually. And sometimes these cycles have long time because it's seasonal. You can guess, but when they see the result and when they solve their pain points, actually, for the next season, it can create a recurring, and the next deal is really huge volume. According to POC, of course. In agriculture, I can say this. And to contact them, maybe in the acquisition point, you're also wondering this. I'm not sure. We are using, of course, almost all channels, but the fairs, the commercial fairs, are the most effective site for now to contact so many potential customers in one case. And for the other verticals, you asked also, for food and cosmetics, let's say food firstly. Actually, the trial process is shorter according to agriculture. They can see easily most of the time they can if they can use in their products or not, or if they can obtain a claim so that they can write on the label for their end products, let's say. But sometimes if they need some PR or other studies, they can have long time for their planning, inner planning cases. In cosmetics also, this is similar with food, but these both not long as agriculture. Agriculture is the most problematic side because of seasonality.
Okay. Last question for me. What's your margins now, and where do you think you can get to them once you scale?
Profit margins?
Gross margin.
For agriculture, it depends on the type, but for agriculture, it's at least 60% now, and with, let's say, bigger scales, we actually aim really how can I say?
That's all right. Don't be nervous.
Really, really high numbers. And in food and cosmetics, actually, let's say in cosmetics, to say the end point, it's at least 10 times, 20 times higher than the agriculture.
Okay. Yeah. It's going to be very important to get your margins even better.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Kamzi. Ravi, up next.
Well, I think most of my questions are being touched on, and really congratulations for this. And if you could really talk about, your roadmap, if you could just emphasize and the expansion, if you could talk about that, because most of my questions were answered, and also I can give some space to Elena if you can take on some of my time. Happy to give that to you.
Thank you so much. Let me try to make it clear for the roadmap. Probably you mean the scale up for industries, right? Okay. For the agriculture, we aim to move forward like this with strategic partnership and scaling up in that side, not burning capex for more because of the lower profit margins, to be honest. And in food and cosmetics, and their sibling industries in our cases, for the certification and for the other quality requirements, let's say, we want to scale step by step in our own facilities. Because we have other applications, and we have further, let's say, fine-tuning and processes for these industries. And for now, we will start with at least 1 ton capacity for these industries this year. And we have already successful POCs, and they are already our potential customers, let's say, for food and cosmetics. And we have some, we have Lois for some also. And we aim to scale for these industries in our own facility, let's say from to 10 to 100, let's say, you can guess, but not for agriculture.
Congratulations to you and your co-founder.
Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, Ravi. And finally on to Anthony, because I've just seen that Elif has no questions for this one. So Anthony.
Just one last question. In the food application vertical, what kind of existing ingredients are you looking to replace?
Actually, it's not the same, like exactly the same of one of the existing ingredients, but for function, let's say, already used some protein, plant-based protein ingredients, natural, in some cases, natural food colorant cases, again, can be used. And directly the antioxidant and polyphenolic, how can I say, enhancing ingredients, such as in our case, as I said in the pitch, we applied in bread and also cake with functional use for child in that company. We achieved that scores, and we obtained a claim for them, let's say. So wide range of applications, actually, according to the it depends on the algae type and also the bacteria and yeast cases, because the profile, the resulting profile depends on the process.
But what kind of functionality are you trying to replace?
Actually, it depends. As I said, maybe I didn't understand your question well, but it depends on the customer. Sometimes they want to increase, enhance the antioxidant capacity, for example. But in some cases, they want to give color. So we don't ferment just one algae type. According to their need or problem, we can offer different kind of fermented algae extracts.
And have you done already like application development projects?
We already with the companies that I exemplified in the slide, such as Döhler, Schölen, Pacha. These are some. We studied completely different cases with them, such as bread, functional drink, functional cake for children, let's say, and in that cases, and also some sauces, pesto sauce, hummus, let's say. We in some cases also we have partnered with Döhler application laboratory also. They did it, and we confirmed our functional aims, differing functional aims, and also the sensory attribute neutralization.
Okay, fair. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much to Adrian, and thank you to all our panelists for that round. Right, on to our final startup this evening. I shall just get my details up. So our final startup is Nir Padan of Olive Express. It's a revolutionary Nespresso model for the olive oil market. So Nir is an innovation, the company Olive Express is an innovative food tech company focused on transforming the global olive oil market. He's leading the development of proprietary technology that enables the production of fresh olive oil year-round by preserving olives post-harvest and pressing them months later without compromising quality. With a strong background in business leadership and operations, Nir is driving innovation in food preservation and supply chains, aiming to unlock new market opportunities and deliver healthier, high-quality olive oil globally. So over to you, Nir.
Okay. Good evening, guys. I'll try now. Oh, what's this? Hello?
Yeah, we can see you. Something happened, I think.
How about Jamal? Are you fixing the slides?
Sascha, is there an issue?
Or shall I do it?
Just a minute, what's going on
here? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've worked out a share, you share now. If it doesn't work on the first time, then we will share for you. Yes.
Okay. Is that okay for you now?
It is at least larger screen. It would be better if it had been full screen, but it's because you need to also flick through the slides.
I think this is the largest. I don't know. How about this? I don't know how to make it.
It's fine. It's fine. Please present. It's fine. Yeah. There's an option there to go full screen, but just start, please. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, now I have to find where to make it move. For some reason. Okay. Anyway, good day for you. I'm sorry about my English. I'll try my best. What we are trying to do for many, many reasons is to apply the revolutionary Nespresso model for the olive oil market. Market now is around 15 billion, and we hope to, our goal is to get market share of 5% within 5 years. No reason why we shouldn't. I have, just to make sure that we are talking and we know what we are talking about, existing olive oil press happened now only in industrial mills, very big ones, and only during the harvest season. Means that at the day of the harvest, we take the olives, we press them into oil, and this is the reason why all the oils on the market after October, November is getting a degraded chemical, talking about phenols and other contributes. And of course, there are many other problems with this market. I will go one by one. First, there are dozens of millions who live near olive trees all around the Mediterranean. Single tree bears like 50 to 100 bucks. It fails en route. They cannot use it because the professional mills are not accepting them. These quantities are very small, else they are coming together and they do some community stuff. It is very hard to use it. Many are not. The whole market problem are first that there is a lot of adulteration and fraud. You can Google after it. If you ask, I will provide you with more than 50% of the oils on the market are not good, are not olive oils, are different stuff, dilution and stuff like that. Fresh olive oil, as I said before, is only after like 2 or 3 months after the harvest. All the rest of the olive oils on the market, if you go now to the stores nearby, label is not true anymore. Chemicals are degraded. They are not fresh anymore. And so these are the main problem. In order to solve this problem, we went and developed two separate programs which become one. One is the first and the only household countertop olive oil press. We have 2 patents on this. Means that we can put 3 kilograms in each batch and get like 20% oil out of it, which is a bottle. This is the first. You'll see on the market, if you go to Google, you'll see many, many machines. None of them can press olive oil. None of them, because it's very difficult and has 3 segments of technical stuff. All the other machines can press like stuff like, I don't know, we call it poles and hummus, only press. The second innovation, which is the most issue that we deal with, is the extended shelf life for olives. As I told you, you cannot press fresh olive oil during the whole year. Today, only during the harvest day, we develop a non-chemical protocol, patented. 2 professors here in Israel did it. We can apply this treatment during the harvest day and then store these olives vacuumed and fridge for more than a year, when the oil cells within the olives are totally fresh. And this is not less than a revolution. We have a patent on this IP technology. We already made a commercial, very big validation with our partner, this existing partner, which is Strauss Company in Israel. These are the largest retailer here in Israel. Here are the details. We use large quantity of olives. We treat them at the day of the harvest. We press them after 8 months of storage. We get 5,000 bottles. We spread it all over to restaurant and many places of sales. And we got very good comments. And of course, the labs didn't know if this is the same day or other and we are now ready to go to market with this technology. On the photo, you can see the working place that if we go to market, we will have to apply this working place in where olive grower trees are grows. And this is how we prepare, we treat the olives. These are very basic tools on the food industry, and you can do it everywhere, in every country where olive trees are grown. Strauss Company is a very good example for how to go to market. We are not plan and not going to be on the front for many reasons. We want in each country to have a joint venture with local strong company who know the growers, who know how to speak in their language, who know the market, who deals already with olive oil. They will license our technology, B2B. We will help them, we will advise them, but they will do the whole process: treatment, storage, marketing, and sale. We have 3 patents, one on the extended shelf life for olives, 2 on the small, very small machine we have. Our plan is to accomplish the development of the prototype which we have. The countertop is a prototype. We need 8 months more to deliver it to the production. And this is the first thing we will do with the money we will grant. Second, we will establish 2 stations for the beginning. One with them, the first will be in California. The second will be in South Europe. They will provide olive capsules to the market. And when I'm saying capsules, I mean 3 kilograms for the private home. And then our plan is the third segment of using the fund, which is $2 million, is to develop larger machine for supermarket, delis, restaurant, and hotel, where we predict we'll get most of the revenues. Again, for many, many reasons it will happen. And remember, the treated olive are the same. So I mean, we will have in a country like America, a place where we treat, store, and sell these olives in small quantity, 3 kilograms to the private homes, and in 10, maybe 15 kilograms to the commercial supermarkets. So this is the commercial strategy we have. We will start with selling the customer only the small machine all around the Mediterranean, and then we will proceed to the Nespresso model. We will expand the sale to olives also, and then we go to the commercial market. So this is the business model. Here are the prices, estimate prices we see for our product. And remember, we will sell machines, and local grower or companies, retailers, we will provide the olives, the treated olives needed, and this where we get the revenues from these sales. Go to market, I think there are another important thing here. The technology is not only for private home and supermarket. We can even deliver fresh oil from the mills themselves. Mills nowadays working only 2 months a year, waste of production floor. And if this concept will go and expand, I can see these mills working 12 months a year and produce fresh olive oil, and not only 2 months a year. These are figures. We can provide much more. I'm not going to go over this. People who are my team, I'm only the CEO and of course the partner. Two professors are the inventors of the extended shelf life for fresh olive oil. And beneath is Mr. Ilan Maimon. He is very, very well known in the countertop arena. He is the initiator of company named Hey Cafe. He produced already 600,000 coffee grinder and sell all over the world, 12 types of them. He made an exit, sold the company to the Swiss company and came to my company to become a CTO. And this is the whole group down there with the subcontractor engineering. Already raised 3.5 million so far. And this is our formal proposal. We also propose joint ventures, so it become a kind of a unique agreement. This is for now. I'll be happy to answer any question.
Great. Thank you, Nia. Very interesting technology, very exciting. Right. In the interest of time, we haven't got a lot of time now. Each panelist can only ask one question, and then they can follow up afterwards during the breakout rooms. So let's have a look. Gennady, do you want to start first?
Sure. Not a question, more of a comment. Near Relac, what you're doing, I like your approach. There's some nuances, of course, but one observation is, my opinion, and I know this extremely well, your projected cost for the supermarket machine is exceedingly high, unless I'm missing something. But I would love to talk more.
I believe that you are missing something. I want to explain. A supermarket, an average one, sells like 7 or 8 bottles per hour. We are talking about 200 to 250 kilograms a day. If you'll go to these prices, you will see that the price of the machine is just neglected.
Oh, no, Nir, let me clarify. I think the cost of the supermarket is almost irrelevant. I think it's your own cost of $12,000. It seems a little bit high.
No, I didn't understand.
I think you can make it cheaper for you to improve your own margins. That's where I was going with this. But if you're in the interest of time, we can connect offline and talk a bit more.
Okay.
But really like what you're doing.
Right. Thank you, Gennady. Ravi, one question or what comment from you? Oh, have we lost?
Sascha actually sent you a WhatsApp message if you look at that.
Let's move on, Sascha. Please.
Oh, right. Sorry. Anthony.
Yes. Now, really a question, but maybe also a bit more of advice. I really like your patented preservation process of olives. And I could imagine there's a huge amount of value in it. As you have explained, that you can get to market real fresh olive oil, that you can make better use of mill capacity throughout the year. I think there's real value in that. So my advice would be to explore that opportunity much more, to get people to pay $400 for an on-counter olive oil press at home. I don't believe in that. I've got no confidence that there's a business model there. you might be able to sell a few hundred to a few foodies around the world, but there's no mass market for that. I'm really interested in your preservation model, and if that really works, I think there's a huge B2B opportunity there. I would go after that first.
As I stated, we are about to start and develop larger machine, which is much easier for supermarkets, where you go and you're not going to have the small machine at home. You will see how they press in front of your eyes fresh olive oil, and you'll buy it there on the supermarket.
Okay, I can see that.
Great. Okay, thank you. On to our next panelist, Elif. One quick question, if you have anything, or a comment.
Yeah, thank you for the pitch. I wonder your challenges, because I see you're doing this and you are raising fund for the last 16 years, right?
We started as a research company. We dealt many years with the research only, and this is the main reason for that.
Yeah, so for the I really wonder what you experienced, your challenges, because it's a real long time and you have a huge experience and knowledge. So I think I want to hear that, really.
We just signed, and I think this is the better explanation. Here in Israel, there is a larger company. The retailer is Strauss. I guess you know them. They are selling all over the world. They just signed an agreement with us. They know exactly what we are doing for many years. By the way, they are doing it same with us. They're investing in the extended shelf life of the olives. It took us few years, and they know what they are doing. They know the market. And by the way, they think like you, that the small machine has not a big potential. They are encouraged us to develop larger machine for supermarkets.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And finally, one last question or comment from Elena.
Yes, I didn't know that million of olive tree owners don't have access to miles. This is something new to me, and obviously you have a real problem to address here, and the solutions probably the problem will dictate the solution, and you will have to go step by step. I think I am inclined to believe what Anthony suggested, that you should not go with a portable press machine and Nespresso business model will not work. But then I believe that it could go better with the supermarkets, and your business model needs a little bit of clarity, like next step. Maybe also because you are raising money, the angle you pitch to investors is very important. So you better, I encourage you to focus on presenting a clear business model, something that you kind of de-risk it already. And you won't lose investors. Let's put it this way: pitch the practical way. Pitch probably the paper press model with the supermarkets, and the leasing model. Maybe I'm talking about revenue channels, right? So yeah, it's a great presentation and great. Let's say, initiative to support the growers and the consumers as well on our side. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much, Nir, and thank you to all that. Right, we're going to quickly wrap up because we're just on the end of time before we go into the breakout rooms. So just a quick recap. So thank you to our startups who pitched today. So we had Stefan Hilberg of Millau.co. Then we had Jean-Louis Roux of Neo Carbons, then Firat Alkan and Ayjan Sabas Alkan for Kibeli's Garden, and then finally we've just had Nir Padan for Olive Express. Then thank you again to our investor advisor panelists. So that was Anthony Stam, partner at Beyond Impact VC. Then we had Dr. Elif Gungur Rise, member of board of advisors at CapMetrics. Then we had Elena Suchu, founder and CEO of RSVP Business Angel, and Gennady Goldenstein, founder and managing partner of Dynamic Ventures. And finally, Ravi Kakara, founder of Investors Forum in New York. So for those of you that in the audience that would like to speak to the founders, please stay on. We're going to open up the breakout rooms in a minute. And just to remind you, we're an active community and we meet at least 25 times a year or more, often focused on region and or subcategory or drinks, food. I'm now just going to hand over to Jamal. He's going to share a few announcements and then we'll go into the breakout. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sascha. Just keep yourself muted if you're not just wrapping up the event right now. So I'm just pasting the links for our community into the chat. Thanks for staying on so long. We have run a few minutes over, but we won't be long now in terms of this quick little wrap up. Just pasting some links. So we have a few events coming up, including our AgTech Pitch Lounge on Tuesday. So just check out our pitch events online for that. Sign up if you want any advice about pitching on the series. Please email us at info@pitchlounge.net or reach out to Sascha and I on LinkedIn. So yeah, the community groups, we've got 3 LinkedIn groups, 2,000 members, 1,000 members, 1,000 members, different geographies there. You can see Menati is Middle East, North Africa, Turkey, and India, for those who are wondering. And then we've got the larger group at the beginning, female founder. We used to run a female founder series 2-3 times a year. And then it moved from AgTech to agnostic to food and mixed agnostic. And we also have a very active UAE WhatsApp community that Sascha runs across 7 different groups, verticals, and countries within the Middle East. Lots of business support there, those that were already trading with the Middle East and those that are suffering during the current crisis. So we're seeing a lot of peer support there. And we've also got a webinar coming up tomorrow morning for the hospitality vertical. This is that webinar. Again, you can access that by the same link, but it's a bit better if you just check out our Dubai networking page on our website, because it just shows you what else we do in Dubai usually. But right now we're doing this weekly or almost weekly webinar series. We ran a very successful one last week with the CPG sector, and this tomorrow morning we're running a hospitality themed one. So anyone based in the UAE that might benefit from this, please share them the link. And if you are on the call, from our WhatsApp community, please join us on that. If you can't make it for that time, don't worry, it will be available on demand on YouTube, and that's an increasing source of recordings from our events and so on. You can check out our channel here. We're getting up to about 200 views on some of our events now. So please, if you can't make it, then you will be able to find the catch-up recording on YouTube. Next. So we had a big festival we were involved in Dubai at the end of the month. Sadly, as you will have guessed, that has been postponed till further notice. So this will not be happening despite being on our website and us being involved in promoting this for a few months. Next. As I mentioned, the AgTech event is next. It's actually not next Wednesday. It's next Tuesday. That's actually wrong on the poster. So it's Tuesday, the last day of the month, and that will be a bit similar, same format as today, live streamed, same pitch length, same Q&A, investor expert Q&A, but it'll be AgTech focused. So anything to do with that industry, vertical farming, robotics and Internet of Things regarding farming, or any element of the agriculture sector, that will be involved in that event. We've already got 2 startups involved, including one of the ones for today. So I wonder if you can guess which one that is. AOV Neocarbon's coming back and pitching a more agriculture sector focused version of their pitch. So look forward to hosting Jean-Louis again on Tuesday. Next. Then we've got hospitality themed feedback guidance event on the 9th of April. So this is a bit of a different format that we do. It's more help with maybe international expansion, help getting investor ready, help with feedback on how to pitch to investors and maybe how to position your investment raise. So this event is got a fantastic. That's the event team. We've already got a fantastic panel lined up for that event, both UK, UAE, and other investors. So yeah, next please. And then we got the drinks event coming up at the on the 16th of when is it? Was it April? We've got a fantastic co-production team for that. We haven't quite finalized the panel, so if you are US based, Middle Eastern based, anywhere in the world, and would like to join our consultant or investor panel for this event series, then please do let us know. We have at least 2 or 3 slots available for the panel because at least 1 or 2 of those faces will be moderating the event. Next. And then at the end of the next month, as we end on with the live stream version, and these events kind of have a symbiotic relationship. So you get the feedback guidance on the smaller events, and then at the end of the month usually is where we have our live stream version. So 29th of April, it is a Wednesday. With Food and Beverage Pitch Lounge, we'll have Gennady back, Elena back, hopefully, and the regular team. So yeah, join us again a month from now for our next live stream edition. Sorry, the end of next month's live stream edition. We do have a live stream event on Tuesday as well. Want to be a panelist? You can join via our website. That's a very simple 2-3 field form, pitchlounge.net/panelists. And it's wonderful. We've got a really large range of panelists. I think we hosted 75 unique panelists last year, over about 125 panelist slots. So we're always open to hosting new consultants, investors, even communication and coaches as well, communication specialists. Yeah. Next. Yeah, special thanks to our backend team. We had Pavan helping today, set up the live stream, helping in the background, sharing things and helping with technical stuff. So thanks to him, and also thanks to the other members of the promotion team and the person who did our branding, which is Mirage AI. You can access his portfolio and reach out to him for help with your branding and digital strategy at mirage.com. Yes, thank you for that. Next, and any sponsorship, partnership inquiries, you can just email me or contact either Sascha and I. We're more happy to talk about new events we could be doing, how we can help the startup community better or differently or additionally. Always happy to hear ideas and feedback as well. So yeah, please reach out to us if you want to talk about collaboration or anything else. Next. We're now moving to breakout rooms. So now, without further ado, I'm going to open the breakout rooms. If you're not sure how these work, you've not been on Zoom for a while, you can go to the More button, 3 dots, and then you'll find breakout rooms. Somewhere on your command line of tools, you'll see breakout sessions. If not, press the 3 dots and it'll give you that option. And now I'm going to open the rooms. You're able to choose which room you go into. If you don't know how to do that, just ask